really wanna know what's been going on in my mind, thought you would die if they left your side. Whole squad in your car, but your car won't ride. And if you really wanna know what's been going on in my mind, I thought you would die if you touched that sky. Threw seeds in the garden, but the hose wouldn't dry. Drop bars in the dark, but the smoke gon' rise. Meditate late.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to be giving you a quick push day routine. I've been getting a lot of questions on how to start, so I put together this series for y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you find this helpful. It does help me keep going. And without further ado, let's jump right into the workout. So generally speaking, guys, 5 to 10 minutes is all that's needed to warm up the core properly to the point where you're ready to go. The dynamic warm-up has been proven superior, so that may be an option you want to explore as well. But for today, we're going to focus on 2 exercises per body part. Mastery of the movement is our primary goal, and there's an emphasis on simplicity. A common mistake when people start out is they tend to overcomplicate things. So I highly recommend not to go down this road. So I'm going to show you a simple routine you can use. So we're going to get started with the barbell bench press. Set up with your back flat on the bench and your feet firm on the ground. So for grip, you can use the shoulder width approach by putting your arms at your side and touching the bar, or use the groove line and place your thumb there, then open your hand, and that's where your grip would be. Also, it's good to keep in mind that different grip types allow you to work certain areas of the chest, shoulders, and triceps. So for example, a wide grip puts more focus on the pecs, and more specifically the lower pecs, whereas a close grip puts more focus on the triceps and the front delts. So once you've established your grip, you next want to focus on the bar path once you take the bar off of the rack. So focus on lowering the weight on a 2 to 3 second count to your sternum, and then push the weight up and back at an angle, and then hold the weight back over your chest. So this motion is similar to a snake as it's about to hiss. So it helps put less stress on your shoulder over time. And the shoulder is a tricky joint, so you want to make sure you protect it anytime you can. And one of the most important principles in bodybuilding is progressive overload. So as you're selecting your exercises, you want to make sure you pick ones that are easy to continuously overload the muscle.
So essentially what this means is you want to change the stress once your muscle adapts to it. Once it becomes easy, you want to change the stress level. So that could be adding weight, that could be changing your rest periods, or anything along those lines to constantly overload the muscle. So if you're looking for that edge, there has been some recent data that says that stretching in between sets is beneficial and helps with muscle thickness and some growth. So there is some data on this, so check it out, try it out, see how it works for you. I'm currently trying it out, so I'll let you know how that goes. And another good tip when you're bench pressing is you want to avoid flaring your elbows. You want to keep your elbows tucked after you lower the bar to about 30 to 60 degrees to avoid any impingement on your shoulder. And also you can use the dumbbell bench press if you're not comfortable enough with the barbell bench press. It's the same movement. You just got to make sure you keep your elbows 30 to 60 degrees. And you just want to press the weight to a point above your chest, and then you want to lower it just to a point where you feel a stretch. And this movement allows for a better contraction because you get a little bit more range of motion at the top. But for your torso, to maximize safety and muscle development, let's talk about that placement. We want a natural arch in our lower back. So to produce this, we pinch our shoulder blades together as we lay on the bench, and this helps prop your chest up, which in turn helps give you that arch. So your shoulders should be pinched, your chest should be up, there should be an arch in your lower back, and your ass should remain flat on the bench. So these are the little things that you want to master before you start overloading the muscle. So for developing that big, thick, and dense chest, you want to consistently overload the muscle, obviously, and use different angles. But obviously you have to be in a calorie surplus to build muscle, and then the deficit will help bring out those striations that are obviously underneath all the fat. Don't become bored with the basic movements. They're there for you to master, become more efficient, get stronger in, and do all that. And the last thing I'll do on this bench press is talk about that foot placement. So you want to make sure your foot is firm in the ground. You can get a little bit of drive and push through the floor, but you want to make sure again that your ass and your shoulders are on the bench. See, I'm getting a little hip drive right here because I'm getting a little bit tired, and fatigue makes cowards of us all. So again, another reason to say it's important for you to master the basics, because as the weight goes up, your form definitely breaks down, and there's no denying that. So our secondary movement is a decline cable fly. For this exercise, you want to stand in the middle of the machine with one foot in front of the other. Your knees bent, palms facing down with a slight bend in your elbows. Then bring the cables to a point in front of your stomach and squeeze for a good contraction. If you don't have this machine, you can use dumbbells on the decline bench. The same form applies. You just want to lead with your elbows until you feel a slight stretch, and then bring the weights to a point above your chest and squeeze. The only thing you can't get out of the dumbbell flies is a better contraction, With the pulleys, you can cross over and stimulate more fibers for growth and get a better contraction. So it's good to use dumbbells and pulleys in different angles and rep ranges so you can fully develop the muscle and also bring up any lagging body parts. So with the major compound movement out of the way, we'll move on to the main accessory muscles with the standing dumbbell shoulder press. So you just want to stand shoulder width apart with your knees bent. You want to hold the weight at your ears with your palms facing forward, then push the weight up, just shoulder locking out at your elbows. Control the weight on the way down until your arms are about parallel with the floor or a little bit lower, and the weight should end up at about ear level. So this movement is going to work the front, the middle, and the rear heads of the delt of the shoulder. And then so we have to be sure we touch on the lateral head for full shoulder development and stability. So for that, we're going to jump into the leaning lateral cable raises. Stand with your working shoulder away from the pulley and grab the handle. Lean away from the pulley and grab the pulley with your non-working hand for balance, and then slowly raise the handle up and out at your side, keeping your arm straight with a slight bend in your elbow. So do this until your arm is just above parallel, then pause and repeat. And the leaning just allows for a better simulation of the lateral head because it's activated sooner due to gravity than when you're standing straight up, as you can see here with the lateral dumbbell raises. So as you can see, I'm able to activate the muscle sooner and keep it engaged longer with the cable pulley as opposed to the dumbbells. So again, it just goes to show why you need to go ahead and incorporate both the dumbbells and the pulleys to make sure you get overall development of the muscles. So now we're on to the tricep, the last accessory muscle of the day. So to set up, keep your feet shoulder width apart with a slight bend in your knees and a slight forward lean. Then press down to full extension, pause and flexion your tricep, and then return to the starting position. So the key with this movement is keeping your elbows still at your sides while pressing down and maintaining that slight forward lean. And for our last movement, ladies and gents, we're going to go with the one arm overhead tricep extension. So just use a neutral grip and grab the pulley rope behind your head, keeping your elbow at your ears. And then you just want to keep your arm still and extend only at your elbow until you hit full extension, and then lower and repeat the movement. So this exercise is mainly to isolate and fully develop the whole triceps, and it helps with that sweeping look as well. And lastly, before I let you guys go, we have to work them abs because spring has sprung and we got to get ready for the beach, man. Even though Lord knows I don't need any more sun. Anyways, we're going to get ahead with this cable crunch. So to set this up, you want to make sure that you keep your elbows stationary, and then you want to contract and pull with your stomach or your midsection. So just do this, try this out, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. Be on the lookout for the pull and the leg day to complete this series. Don't forget, the juice is worth the squeeze, baby.
And if you really wanna know what's been going on in my mind, thought you would die if they left your side. Whole squad in your car, but your car won't ride. And if you really wanna know what's been going on in my mind, I thought you would die if you touched that sky. Threw seeds in the garden, but the hose wouldn't dry. Drop bars in the dark, but the smoke gon' rise. Meditate late.